all people. We're just running in the road and stuff. Hey, welcome back to Urbancowboy Disc Golf. I am going to play week. I filmed week 3, missed week 5, 4. I got week 5. So for some reason I only play odd weeks, which I don't know why. Last week just didn't work out. Timing. Jesus, it's bright. Pardon the camera. I'm trying to get there first. I've got Boy along with me today. So it's going to be boys' league night. Wife is picking up the girl. I got the boy. And I'm going to try not to bother too many people with a camera and a son on the course. I know they don't care. I know they enjoy seeing younger children at disc golf. But I basically haven't played a single round in like a week and a half. I've just been very busy at work. Gonna have a good time today. I think we're playing shorts front 9, and then we're doing the front 9 twice again and playing the back 9, the front 9 the second time from the long. So basically it's easy front 9, hard back 9, and we still are repeating 18 twice. I don't know if we're gonna do 18 from the long the second time though. That would be difficult because that's not an easy. I don't know if I haven't played that hole very often, but I do know it's going to be a fun day. It's a little windy out here. It always is, and the grass seems pretty long. So the name of the game is don't go OB, because that's the only mistake I made last week or 2 weeks ago when I made the last video. So if I don't go OB today, that is going to be absolutely wonderful. If I do, just got to limit it to a single bogey instead of the double I took last time. And hopefully we can come out on top. Also, got a brand new... it's upside down? Yeah, that's badass. Huh? I'll see you on the course. Hole 5 from the shorts, and this is Burlington Area Disc Golf League, and I'm fresh out of the truck. I hated the feeling of that when I let that thing go. It was so low, I knew it was just a terrible shot. So I've got a circle's edge, just 30 feet out for my first putt of the day, just as fresh as I can be. So that felt wonderful. The wind is definitely down compared to it was in the last video of week 3. So, okay, hole 6. Once again, I keep trying this forehand line around the left side of the tree, and I'm on the shorts still. And I get the right, distance around the tree, but the issue is what I want to do is stall it out and have it land almost directly behind the tree, not past the tree. So that right there is like a 60-footer or 70-footer because I just went so far down the hill. Here's my son off to the left. This is the par 4, hole 7. It's, once again, we're still from the shorts until we get to hole 1. And it's really just get it out there, get a good chance, but I just put this on hyzer and was expecting more wind, and I smacked that tree in the middle of the field. The only tree I have to, not aim at, and the boy was even like, oh, you suck. So I make a mistake here, even though, it's not always the worst mistake to make, but my thought is it's uphill. Let's not be short. So I grab my spur, knowing it's not going to flip over into the woods on the right and skip a little up the hill. And I threw it perfectly flat. I blocked the entire shot, but I ended up going super deep by 30 feet, and didn't get up the hill as much as I wanted to. So I'm sitting here at 30 again for the second time of the round, and just inches short. I was so very close to hitting that one. That would have felt good. Came out, it felt good to me, but it was slightly uphill. I should have put it higher. Going on to hole 8 here, we've got another par 4 where you really just have to hit this gap and you'll have a good chance. And this time, I don't understand. I flipped this one completely over. I guess I just released it on a teeny bit of hyzer and just end up on the edge of woods on the right side all the way down a huge hill. So here I am with my horny toad, my go-to get out of jail free disc. And I'm like, okay, I got enough room on my right hand side to swing a forehand through the woods. And you can just see the top of the basket on the left side just above the hill. So I'm going way up a hill. And I put it within, I think, 20. Yeah, it's like 20 feet. Not even. So yeah, I released that on Annie because I don't know. I literally knew I was going to release that one left, and I tried to put it on Annie to help me, and it just did not. And then here I am. I threw the horny toad. I should have just thrown what I'd like to throw is just something that's going to crash into that hill. So like I should have thrown a 7-speed at this, and I would have had a better chance. This is hole 9, the last short hole we'll play for a little bit. Actually, no, we'll play hole 18 short. Here we go. Hey, first mistake. I felt a tailwind, and you can see me just gesturing there. Oh, what a tailwind. I can't feel nothing. And then, of course, I go back. I run over there. I try to, like, just tap it out, and you'll hear the wonderful sound of me 3-putting after getting in the circle after the tee shot. So, like, I bogeyed this hole for no reason other than I rushed through it, and I was being stupid. So that's 3 bad putts in a row. Let's see if I can't maybe do a little bit better on this hole. Putting at the back of the card. I'm just like, oh, I hate everything right now. But once again, I parked this one last week, so maybe I can get this one. I put it on hyzer. I just didn't feel my backhand today, so it just didn't have any power for me. Super short. The grass is really thick today. That spring and that summer's coming in. So I'm about 50, 45 short. Got a little chance at a birdie from outside circle 1. I give it the height, but not enough. But somehow I can almost make that putt, but I completely miss the 2 other putts I had on the last hole. Here we are, hole 1. We're playing it from the longs. The short tee is up there on the right. This is kind of a, like, it's a hard get, mainly because you want to throw it harder. You want to kind of flip up and go straight and then just fade near the end. But these crepe myrtles, knock anything down you throw wide. And you don't want to overturn it or you're going OB in the road on the left. So I threw it decently, but it's just straight in the grass, about 100 short. So once again, just this is more of a throw than it is a run, but I don't know why I ever like throw my putters at all. I'm not used to throwing my actual putters. I just normally throw a little forehand chip shot up for my up shots. So I ended up pulling this to the right some, so I have a little bit of a putt to make to save my par. And nothing like a straddle, and this one I almost have to do it from the chest. So make that putt makes me feel a little bit better about missing the last 3 the 3 stupid ones a couple of holes ago. And then we get to play the most fun hole on this course, hole 2, one of the signature holes at Springwood's Players Course. It's just a lot of trees, and you're going down the tightest of tunnels. It sets up great for a forehand flip up to fade, but unfortunately, since I backed it up, I threw a mid-range instead of what I normally throw as my copperhead. So that was a Texas Ranger, which it's a little flippy, especially that orange one. But I tried to put hyzer on it and just kind of released a little too left. But here I am with the copperhead to play the hole like I wanted to. And then I flip it up perfectly, but go about 20 deep on a hole that you could honestly go very far past this and roll down a hill, and it's what we call either birdie or bogey. A little comebacker. You got to be able to make your comebackers. I think it was a pretty good putt. Felt good out of my hand. Just run out and grab that. Currently, I am 2 over, I think. Yeah, because I had the birdie first hole, and then I had the bogey. That was just a stupid 3-putt. This camera did not want to work with me on this hole and a couple of other holes, too. So I'm just happy I got some of the shot. On this forehand, trying to avoid all of the OB on the left, and I successfully, and I mean successfully, avoided all the OB. I almost tried to roll back into the OB, but I had it so far up that hill, nose up, hyzer. I was a chicken. And here I am, a chicken again. You see the chicken leg sticking right there next to the disc? Yeah, that one's going to lay up. That little leg and the arm is going to lay that disc right up underneath the basket. I'm not playing with any OB today, except for maybe the next hole. The next hole, we're sitting here at hole 4. All this OB on the left in the short grass. It is dangerous stuff. And my forehand decides it's going to turn over and go try and hit these kids. You can just see one of their heads, and as soon as I throw it over there, a bunch of kids just pop up out of nowhere, and they're like, "Oh, look at this disc. This guy sucks. How did he throw it over here?" And yeah, it was kind of funny. I was like, "Okay, just throw it in the tall grass and run away." But I know they weren't sitting in the tall grass. They're definitely sitting in the short grass. So I just took my medicine. I'm going to take my spur here and try to pitch it up there and try to get my bogey. Try to get away without the big numbers. And I just didn't put this on enough like angle to get underneath the basket, and it's still like a very long way. It's like a 325-foot shot because I didn't get far off the tee. And then, yeah, missed my circle's edge putt. Very angry double bogey, but what are you going to do? You're going to get those sometimes. I'm literally matching my 2 bad strokes from last round where I got 1 bogey and 1 double bogey. So we're back here to hole 5. We're in the longs this time, and since it's not as windy, I'm going to throw my forehand. And I did not put it flat enough or left enough as I wanted it to, because I know I can get to this basket, but I have got to actually get a full flight out of it, and I did not. So end up short, trying to run it, but I just failed. It landed underneath the basket, and another layup on accident. So forehand right here. Here we go. Around this tree, but a lot further back than the short tee. I'm on the long tees now for the ones I started on, and this is when I knew I messed up. I am landing in front of the tree. I literally just did not put it on enough anything to get where I wanted to go. I should have thrown backhand. I think I'm going to stick with the backhand for this hole next time because it's a lot further than the short tee. And here comes another completely on purpose layup. Totally on purpose layup. I wasn't running it at all. We're here at hole 7. Yeah, 7. Par 4, but we're from the back, so it's a lot further back. But still, if you're smart, you can get the birdie. I threw a forehand because the forehand was just feeling a lot better than my backhand right now. And I clipped this tree on the left and actually got pretty far up there with my forehand. It was one of my best feeling throws of the day. And then I'm like, okay, let's sit on the spur. I went long last time, but I'm a lot shorter this time. I'm not next to that tree up there. I should have probably just picked up my, that looks a lot better than it was. It was not as close as I thought. So I'm sitting here at circle's edge, if not a little bit further. And it's a good shot, but I just could not make that putt. I did not leave it too short, though. I was happy with not leaving it too short. Here is my favorite hole of the day. It is hole 8, but from the longs, you're kind of playing from down the hill. So it's not so much of a gap shot as you're just trying to get to that gap at the top of the hill. And of course, this is one of the ones where my camera decided it wasn't going to work with me. You see it pop up there, and boom, I'm in the middle of the gap. I was super happy about that, and I was just trying to get back. Part for the child. So we've got the gap that you normally have to hit off the short tee, I'm sitting directly in the middle of it. I chose for the first time today to throw my Mockingbird. That 7-speed I lean on a little bit, and I put it within like 10 feet. And I was so happy about this because that was the first backhand of the day I felt good with. So like on the previous hole, first forehand that I felt good about, and on this hole was the first backhand I felt good about. So to get my second birdie of the round on hole 8, the second time around, when I really should have made the second birdie of the round on the first time I run through this hole. But beggars can't be choosers. I'm not that good at disc golf to be able to dictate which hole I get birdies on. Not yet, at least. So back to hole 9, where I 3-putted the first round, first half. Throwing the Mockingbird again, but I just throw it so low and didn't get any power on it. I've really got to practice a little bit more on my backhand. That backhand's not looking crispy like it used to. I know I've been able to hit it before, and then the forehand upshots, I mean, they're not that bad. Underneath the basket, another par, unfortunately, after my nice little birdie over there on hole 8. 18 from the longs is a tough hole. Like, I don't have the distance for it. I just don't right now. But my forehand is a safe play. I love how much dust I kicked up on the left side. So I just left it at this. It just went straight. It's still going to be 100 short. So that I was like one of 3 people that actually like made it to this side with a good forehand. And just this one I am kind of running it best I can. I didn't think I could actually run this as good as I did, and I was like just a little short, barely, from like 100 feet out still putting. Hey, short hole 1, one of the easiest holes you can play is short hole 1. It's one of the courses. This course I learned how to play disc golf on, and I practice this hole all the time. I did backhand turnovers, I did forehands, but I throw a forehand horny toad out here, and I was like, okay, this should work. And it did, somewhat. Ended up a little short left. There I am, Brandon's tapping out his birdie. And then I'm just going to move some stuff out of my way and get ready for my putt. And Howie's going to get in not get in the way, but like he's going to be there somewhat blocking the shot. But Howie's the best putter on our card, I'm telling you right now. Like, why do I look so serious when I putt? I look like an idiot. No, that's not Howie. Flap. That's Michael. Hey, hole 2. Now that I'm on the shorts again, I get to throw the disc I like to throw on this hole, which I threw last time as my touch. I was clapping to get a squirrel to get out of there. Look, there he is. But the copperhead's the perfect one for this. I can get it to flip up. I beat it to death in the woods, but I release it too far right, and somehow perfectly end up where I was from the longs. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to just grab that. Actually, this time I'm going to throw the horny toad because I went long, so I want something more overstable. I want something to slide up instead of glide by. This is a layup because God knows I do not want another bogey. I put it right underneath the basket. Easy tap out. So here we are on hole 3, the short one. And it should just be an easy forehand, and then I just don't release it on any line that looks or makes any sense. It's just short right. I'm there every time. I get up there and I try to like sit up the hill, but I would like slide down that hill several times. Like I couldn't get good footing right there on my left foot. And I'm trying to hyzer it in, like just a little bit of glide and a little bit of hyzer, and I didn't put any hyzer on it when I released it. But it's a tap out for par. So we go into the last hole of the round. I'm throwing just really crappy, but I would get the flex on the forehand, but I just barely make it safe. I could do a lot better on this round, and I think that's what I'm going to take away from this round is that I can do better. I did not do better for this round. Like my putting could have been more on point. My getting off the tee is my biggest issue right now. Okay, round's over. The pain can stop. Mainly because the pain isn't really physical, it's emotional. And I will say that's not my worst round ever for League, but it's up there only because, man, I could have done so much better. Just I left so much out there that I know I can do better. And I don't know, I'm not going to blame the kid. Not his fault. I suck. But I know I can do better, that's the point. So at some point during the middle of the round, after I got my doubles and my single, well, I got one double and one single bogey. After I got those two, I was like, okay, cool. Let's not do that anymore. So I decided to lean on what was working, which was my forehand. And yeah, I was the smart play. I ended up making sure I got every par I could instead of messing stuff up and trying different stuff. And then I couldn't get my putt to sink today. But at the same time, I wasn't giving myself the option of my putt sinking. The boys be in the back playing with something. Like and subscribe on my video if you like these weekly rounds. I'll try to get out to as many leagues as I can and film it best I can. You guys have a great one. Bye.